Good morning to all. Today we are going to see about the chapter 14 classes and objects. The learning objectives of this chapter is how to declare the class and how to define the class and members. The main objectives of this chapter is how to construct the program using classes with constructor and destructor, and also to execute and debugging the class programs with constructor and destructors. Let's start with introduction to class. Class is the most important feature of C++. So that Bijan Structure initially gave the name C with classes. What is the difference between C and C++? In C, OOPS concepts are not included. But in C++, OOPS concepts are included. The four main features of OOPS concept is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. These concepts are mainly based on classes and objects. So that class is the most important feature of C++. What do you mean by class? It is a way to bind the data and its function together. Class is a user-defined data type because the class can be created by user. So it is a user-defined data type. In the previous chapter, we have saw the structure. What is the difference between structure and class? By default, access specifier of structure is public, but in a class, the default access specifier is private. What is the difference between private and public? If we declare the members in private, access the variables within a class, not accessed in out of the class, but we declare the variable in public access specifier, we access the members within a program in any classes or main functions, whatever may be. The next concept is declaration of a class. How to declare the class? We using the keyword class, and then we give the name of the class, and then opening the curly brace and give the member function or variable declaration. After declaration, we close the curly brace and terminate the class using semicolon. Next one is general form of a class definition. That is a syntax of a class definition. How to declare the class? First we will give class keyword and then class name, and then within curly braces we give the variable declaration and function declaration. After declaration, we terminate the class using semicolon. This is the syntax for class definition. It includes data member and member function, which consists of three access specifiers, that is private, public, and protected. Suppose we doesn't give any access specifier, the C++ compiler automatically take the access specifier private. That is the default access specifier of class. What is the difference between these three access specifier? If you declare the members or functions within a private access specifier, that members and functions cannot be accessed from outside the class, only used within a class. But we declare the member function and variables within protected access specifier, which is more similar to private member. At the same time, it provides some benefits. That is, if we declare the variable in protected access specifier, they can be accessed in child class, that is derived class. If we declare the variable and member function in public access specifier, we use that variables and function anywhere in a program or outside the class, whatever may be. If all the members of the class are defined as private, then the object of the class cannot access anything from the class. Here we see this is an example of class definition. Here using the keyword class and then declare the class name student, and then give the variables within private access specifier. What are the variables? Name, roll number, mark 1, mark 2, total. Within the protected access specifier, we declare the two functions, that is accept of function and compute of function. And then within a public access specifier, we declare the display of function. Here accept and compute function is not accessed outside the class, but the display of function is accessed outside of the class definition. This is the difference between protected and public access specifier. Okay. The next concept is definition of class members. Class comprises of members which can be classified into two types. One is data members and member function. Data member is nothing but a data variable. Okay. Member function is nothing but a methods. And data members are also called as attributes. This is an example of definition of class member. Here char, name of 10, int, roll number, mark 1, mark 2, total are the data members. And then void accept of and void display of are the member function. Okay. Next concept is defining methods of a class. In two ways we can define the methods in a class. What are they? Inside the class definition and outside the class definition. Inside the class definition is nothing but a inline function. That is, we define the member function within a class that is named as inside the class definition. If the member function are defined outside the class, that is named as outside the class definition, which is otherwise called as outline member function or non-inline member function. If we access the member function from the outside of the class, we use operator scope resolution operator, that is double colon. Next we are going to see about the syntax of outline member function. First we declare the return data type and then class name, and then using the scope resolution operator, that is double colon, and then using the function name, and then give the parameter list. If the parameter list is passed, we give the parameter list, otherwise no need to give the parameter list. For example, we see void is the return data type and add is the class name, and then using the scope resolution operator and then declare the function name display of. Okay, this is an example for inline and outline member function program. In this program, first we declare the header file, that is hash include iostream, and then using namespace std, and then declare the class using the class keyword, and then declare the class name, that is box. After the class declaration, we declare the members, that is variables. Double is the data type and width is a variable. Here doesn't initialize any access specifier, so compiler automatically by default which taken the private access specifier. Okay, and then declare the public access specifier. After the access specifier, we should put the colon, otherwise error can be occurred. Okay, and then another one of the variable is declared, that is length, and then member function is declared, that is void print width of. Here within the print width of, one statement is given, that is cout width is displayed, and then void set width of, one parameter is passed, double w. W is the variable, double is the data type. Okay, and then class can be terminated using semicolon. After the termination of class, void set width is accessed using scope resolution operator. So using the syntax void box scope resolution operator and then set width of double w. Here box is the class name, scope resolution operator is used. Why? Because we access the function from outside of the class, so that this statement is called as outline member function definition. Okay, within this function we use the variable width and then store the value of w in width. Okay, if you access this member function and member variable within the main function, we use the object. These concepts are discussed in next class. Okay, thank you students.